AITAH for leaving my GF after she aborted our baby. I, am 28, have been with my girlfriend, F23, for 4 years, living together for 3. I pay all of our bills, only requiring that my girlfriend keep up with house chores. She has a part-time job where she works 3 days a week, as a cashier at a beauty salon. She makes minimum wage and all of her money goes to her hair, nails and clothes. I have never minded this. I like when my girl feels and looks good. A month ago we found out she was 6 weeks pregnant. We were both shocked-ish. Didn't make a big effort to prevent, and immediately told our family the news. We are renting an apartment, but it's extremely cheap, way below my budget. I was planning to purchase a house within the next year, as I've been able to save a lot, especially since I'm a frugal person. Unfortunately, I was laid off from my job 2 weeks ago, but honestly, it was not a big deal. Like I said, I've saved enough to easily live without working for at least a year. The plan obviously was not to wait a year before getting a new job. I immediately started searching again. My girlfriend, however, took the news extremely badly and was even mad at me. She was distant and refused to talk to me because she thought I wasn't taking things seriously enough. I told her that we, including the baby, were fine and that finances were still good. My girlfriend does not know how much money I made and how much I've saved. This is because at my previous job, she knew how much I made and was always begging me to make big purchases and asking for money. I started keeping my income and savings from her because she is not good with planning for the future financially. On Thursday, the 7th, my girlfriend comes into our bedroom sobbing and told me that she thinks she miscarried. I offered to take her to the hospital and she told me her mother was outside and would be taking her. I offered to go with her and she told me she only wanted to be with her mother. I let them go and tried to keep myself from having a panic attack the whole time I waited. When she came home that night, she confirmed that she had a miscarriage and that it must have been from stress. We held each other and cried that night. In the morning, I noticed she was crying again and she started apologizing and told me that she had aborted our baby. I was shocked and hurt and in disbelief. I told her to get her stuff and leave. She begged me some more before I, very calmly, pushed her out of my room and closed the door. I heard her crying and moving things around for about an hour before she left the apartment. I haven't spoken to her since. Her sister ended up calling me and telling me I'm a horrible person for kicking her out after going through such a traumatic event. Is this not traumatic to me? She told me my GF aborted the baby because she knew we were not financially prepared. I let her sister know that I was not worried about finances and that it still didn't justify her getting rid of our baby without my input. Now I'm faced with telling my family what happened. Am I really wrong? First reply. This was a deeply dysfunctional relationship on all sides, to the point where I suspect the story might be fake since it hits so many Reddit cliches, and it's good that it's over. Second reply. NTA for not standing by when your GF made such a big life decision without you and lied about it. But come on, man. You reap what you sow, you know. You started dating her when she was still a teenager. She was immature about spending, but you chose the easy, duplicitous way of hiding your finances from the partner whom you're living with instead of doing the hard work of talking things through till. Either she had a full understanding and made more mature decisions. Or you both came to the understanding that your financial values don't align and you need to break up. Despite that previous experience about her spendthrift ways, you were okay with her spending her entire income on hair and nails. You had all those big plans, but it doesn't sound like you communicated about any of them. You were secretly saving for a house while living in a hovel apparently, but she didn't know. You don't care you lost your job, but she didn't understand why your secret financial buffer was so reassuring to you. neither of you made a real effort to prevent pregnancy, but you were still surprised. You know? Third reply. I think you and she are very badly matched. You don't trust her enough to let her know the full extent of your earnings and savings. And why? Because she can't be trusted to view that money the same way you do. I'm sorry for your sorrow, but this is going to be for the best in the long run, because this woman does not share your approach to the business of being in a long-term partnership. Fourth reply. So you started dating a teenager. Have her clean, cook and only work a minimum wage part-time job while you control all the living expenses. You don't communicate your savings or expenses, keeping it all a big secret. You lose your job and are flippant about not needing to find a new job quickly. WTF did you think your GF was thinking with an unexpected pregnancy? Of course she was terrified of providing for a baby on only her salary, since you communicated nothing about your financial situation. ESH, and neither of you are prepared to be parents because neither of you talk to one another about major life decisions. Fifth reply. I'm going to disagree with most of the comments here and say I'd be interested to hear her side of things. From her perspective, you lost your job and weren't financially prepared to have a child. You chose not to share your finances with her, first red flag, so she didn't know that your savings would sustain you both. Being pregnant is stressful enough, it must have been isolating for her to feel worried about you being laid off, especially since she didn't know about your financial safety net, and to have you dismiss her concerns as no big deal. Not that she needs to justify having an abortion, but I can understand why she felt like it was the most responsible choice. She should have discussed it first, and been honest with you about this decision, but you haven't been honest with her either, and ultimately it was her decision to make. It sounds like she didn't make her mind up easily and is suffering now. I'm not sure it's fair to say whether someone is an R in this incredibly difficult situation.